Ever leave a conversation feeling energized, like everything just clicked? Not polite small talk, not awkward nodding. I mean that strange sparkly moment where time bends, ideas start ping ponging, and suddenly you're finishing each other's sentences like you share a single brain. That feeling isn't magic, it's a social flow state. And today we're going to reverse engineer it. Because what if those perfect conversations weren't random? What if they were trainable? What if you could walk into a room, a meeting, a date, a family dinner, or a chaotic group chat and quietly stack the deck toward connection instead of awkwardness? Let's crack this open. We've all witnessed it. Two people talking so smoothly it looks choreographed. They laugh at the same time. They mirror each other's posture. The energy in the room shifts like a well-tuned orchestra. From the outside, it looks effortless. But here's the twist. Effortlessness is engineered. In psychology, this is called interpersonal flow, a state where individuals aren't just communicating, they're co-creating meaning together. The conversation becomes less about me versus you and more about us building something in real time. Think of it like jazz instead of a job interview. In a bad conversation, you're thinking, what do I say next? In flow, you're thinking, where are we going together? That shift is everything. Now let's zoom inside the brain. But don't worry, we're keeping it human. When two people genuinely connect, their nervous systems begin to synchronize. This isn't poetic metaphor, it's measurable neuroscience. First, mirror neurons. These are the brain cells that simulate another person's emotions and movements inside your own mind. When you lean in, soften your voice, or nod with warmth, their brain suddenly mirrors you. Second is oxytocin, the bonding hormone. When someone feels seen, heard, and safe, oxytocin increases. That chemical shift makes people more open, more trusting, and more creative in conversation. And third, this is wild. Research shows that in deep dialogue, people's brainwaves can actually align. Your nervous systems start humming in the same rhythm. That's the neural handshake. So social flow isn't just good vibes, it's biological alignment. And here's the power move. Don't wait for it, you invite it. Let's bring this out of the lab and into real life. The first lever is radical listening, not nodding, not waiting your turn, but actually listening like a detective of meaning. Instead of, I know exactly what you mean, try, that's interesting, tell me more about that part. Curiosity is the oxygen of flow. The second lever, yes, and thinking. Borrowed from improv comedy, this is the social flow cheat code. When someone shares an idea instead of, but actually, that won't work, here's why you're wrong, you respond with, yes, and what if we also tried? That tiny shift turns conversation from combat into collaboration. The third lever, challenge skill balance. Too easy equals boring. Too intense equals stressful. Good social flow lives in the sweet spot. Playful, slightly risky, but still safe. A little humor, a little vulnerability, a little creativity. That's the spark zone. Now let's talk about what destroys connection instantly. Ego. The moment someone needs to dominate, correct, or win, flow dies. Judgment. If people feel evaluated, their brains shift into self-protection instead of openness. Phones. Nothing murders presence like half attention. And cognitive bias, especially confirmation bias, where we only listen to agree, not to understand. Flow requires humility. Connection requires surrender of control. Or as Jung might say, you have to meet the other, not your projection of them. Here's a secret. Flow always breaks sometimes. That's normal. The real skill isn't perfection, it's recovery. If a conversation gets tense, try, I might be misunderstanding, can you clarify that? If energy dips, ask a generative question. What surprised you about that? If things feel stuck, shift the frame. What's one thing we actually agree on here? You're not steering the conversation, you're retuning the frequency. Imagine applying this everywhere. In meetings, you become the person who brings alignment. In relationships, you deepen intimacy without forcing it. In groups, you subtly raise collective intelligence. Practice this in low stakes spaces, casual chats, friendly debates, playful banter. Think of it as deliberate social play, because ultimately, you're not just talking, you're orchestrating emotional and intellectual harmony. And here's the beautiful paradox: when you stop trying to impress, people become more impressed by you. When you stop dominating, people naturally follow. When you stop performing, connection becomes effortless. That's the true flow state. Not individual brilliance, but collective resonance. And once you learn to feel it, cultivate it, and share it, you don't just have conversations anymore. You create experiences. Have you ever had a conversation that felt electric, like time disappeared? What do you think makes certain conversations just flow? Let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, my little cherubs, Meemaw's always rooting for you.